What is going on, guys? We are back on the FTOG Avant 3 server, and today, guys, we're going to be getting some beginning power generation going and doing a little bit of stuff around the base. But the first thing that I wanted to show you guys would be the actual base itself. Now, if you saw last episode, we started working on it, and I started getting a feel for how I wanted to make the base, which is actually right behind us if you're wondering why I'm just staring off at nothing. But yeah, so I ended up spending maybe like an hour and a half getting this finished, kind of tweaking things around, and I really like how it turned out. It's not fully done yet, but get an imaginary drum roll going because we're going to take a look around at it. Okay, so here we go. I think it turned out really great. I really actually like the way the colors look. It might be a little bit dull right now, but once we get the glowstone lamps in there, or just regular glowstone and possibly a couple more details, I think it'll look really good. So this is it. Now, I don't have a second floor in here yet. There will be one, but I have yet to decide how I want to connect the roof of the base to, I guess, what would be the second floor. So it's not really attached all the way around here, but everywhere else is. I think it looks really good, and it's a lot of work for not that much room, whereas, you know, I could have just cleared out a huge area, just a huge box, and called it a factory or whatever, and just filled it in with a bunch of blocks that make it look like a factory, but that'd be kind of bland. So I thought it'd be fun to do this. So there will be a little bit to work around in terms of either expanding this or kind of making things relatively compact, but this is what we're working with now. So let me know what you guys think. I actually really like it, but it did take a while to build this, so that's why I actually did not have time to get stuff to set up the endergenic generators today, and also we really don't have the space. But what we're going to be doing is setting up some immersive engineering water wheels. Now, I think water wheels from immersive engineering look great, and I don't want to go, too much about how great they are, just because if you guys have ever seen my Surviving with Immersive Engineering series, which I imagine most of you have, that I pretty much talked every episode about how much I love how the things look, and although they might not be the most effective or efficient or whatever, they look great. They look amazing, and that is a huge part of the mod for me. And I am just realizing right now that we are missing some stone brick slabs right up here. Do I have any in my inventory? Wow, I don't. Okay, so we can't fix that yet, but I always talked about how much I think the things look great. So what we're going to be doing is setting up 3 of these with the kinetic dynamo, hooking it up to some basic capacitor banks from Ender.io, and this will just allow us to get some basic power generation going so that we can start working through processing a little bit of stuff so that we can eventually get the endergenic generators. Now, I don't know if there have been any changes to the endergenic generators, but they look a little bit different. They're still, they cost the same stuff to make, just some diamonds, ender pearls, and machine frames. But we do need to get some stuff set with redstone and picking out how we actually want to transmit the signal and all of that stuff before we actually do this. So it does require a little bit of stuff to make. So that'll probably be in the next 1 or 2 episodes. And that'll be our main source of power generation because these can get upgraded and all that good stuff. And you can make a lot of them, and they do generate a ton of power. But for now, we do need a little bit so that I can kind of work with some stuff. So down there where pretty much all of our machines are, I did make the immersive engineering coke oven, which you kind of do have to do if you want to get the water wheels because you need the treated wood. But I haven't really done any other work down there. So what we're going to be doing is coming over here, and I kind of decided that I want to put the water wheels and build them into the terrain around the base. And it's a little bit awkward with the terrain around the base right now, just because if you look back here, I haven't had time to kind of smooth it out a little bit. So eventually I'll want this to be kind of a gradual slope. It doesn't need to be as gradual as this right here, but eventually I kind of want to make it so it looks normal-ish, and that we're not just looking out these windows back here and seeing a wall of dirt or a wall of stone or whatever. So I'll do that in the future, but what I'm planning on doing is kind of building this area up right here and bringing a water stream down around this big tree right here, circling it around, possibly bringing it a little bit around this side too, and then bringing it out here in front of the base and maybe making like a little bit of a pond. And right here where it's kind of going to drop down, we're going to be putting the water wheels in, and then we're just going to use some of the low voltage wire connectors and coils to bring that over to the capacitor banks in the base. So that does require that we do a little bit of building with some of the loamy dirt over here, and I don't know how much it's going to take. I might hop off camera. Stupid poison ivy. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I might hop off camera just to do some of this if it ends up taking a while, but I think we're just going to clear out a little bit of this area right here and see what we're working with. So I have a lot of dirt because I did clear out a fair bit, and I'm actually going to turn down the where is it? Turn down the blocks really quick because we're going to be placing a lot of this, and I don't want it to get too loud, but we'll just work with terraforming this a little bit right here, because we need to have it high enough that the water can drop down on the wheels and make them spin. So that's one thing that we got to work around. So actually, we need to build up this area, but take this area right here down a little bit, because you do need the big drop. You can't just have a gradual one. So we'll do this, clear this area out a little bit. Now I do have a story for you guys, one that I think you might find to be a little bit funny, kind of at my expense. So I've told you guys in the past that I really don't have that many stories to tell, and I couldn't really tell them anyway during the Surviving With series, because I tried to make the videos concise and to the point and just get the information out there. But now that we're doing this, hopefully you guys won't mind me telling some stories. And now that I'm back at school, I do get to have a couple more stories than I normally would that occur on a daily basis, because I'm stupid, my friends are stupid, we do stupid stuff. So and it's not stupid stuff like, oh, you know, going out and doing stuff that could get you hurt. It's just stuff that makes us look stupid in front of other people, and you guys kind of understand what I'm talking about in a couple seconds. So we're also gonna have to build up here to make the pond where it starts. There is a pond over there a little bit that we might connect to this one, but yeah, I think we'll start up here somewhere with a pond, and then we're gonna have to drop it down a fair bit to get them to spin correctly. So yeah, I'm trying to think. We might need to build this up one more. Yeah, I gotta get this dirt out. I think this should be enough right here, and then we'll hop back. I'll just keep doing this while I tell my story. So basically, this happened two days ago. I don't know. It's not really important. It happened a couple days ago, and I always go to shower in the morning. I used to shower at night, but now I shower in the morning before class, because I have, for the most part, I have, you know, 8 a.m. classes on 2 days out of the week, and I have 9 a.m. classes. So I'll get up for breakfast. I'll go maybe 40 minutes before I have class. I'll go with some of my friends. So I get up to shower. If I'm, you know, going to a 9 a.m. class, I'll get up at like 7:20 in the morning and I'll shower. And so I get up, I go to shower. My roommate's already left because he had to go to work, and the door is not locked. At this moment, the door is not locked, so I do not take my keys with me. And then I get back and I go to unlock the door, I go to open the door, and what do you know? It's locked. Now, my roommate did not come back and lock the door. He's been at work the whole time, and I do not have my keys on me, and I have to get to class. I couldn't just miss class because I had a homework assignment due, and there would be scenarios where I would have to miss class and I couldn't get out of it, just because, you know, if I hadn't been able to go and get the keys somehow, I would not have gone to class because I was wearing a bath towel. That's all I had. And keep in mind, there's like 40 people on my floor, but it was early enough that none of them were really awake. So I was casually knocking on my friends' doors, trying to get them to open up so I could have somewhere to go, so I'm not standing outside in a bath towel. So eventually some of my friends do open their doors, and keep in mind, this is at like 7:40 in the morning. They're awake. They have class at, you know, 9 a.m. just like me. And I'm standing there in my bath towel and I'm like, guys, you know, I'm locked out of my room, and apparently sometimes our door will lock when we don't lock it, so we always have to have the keys with us. And I don't really know why it happens, but it almost is like if you slam the door, the lock like engages a little bit, and then like it locks itself after you close it, which is really stupid, because if I ever forget to take my keys, I could just get locked out anyway. But so that happened, and I finally managed to get some clothes from my friend who does not wear the same size clothes as me, and I end up walking over to the dining hall where my friend works, that's maybe 5 minutes away, in these clothes that are not mine. And I have to go and ask all these people. I'm like, do you know where this person is? Do you know where this person is? I need to talk to them. I need to get our key to our room, because I am locked out right now. And everyone's looking at me. Most of it, like the dining hall staff, were older people, and they were looking at me like I was an idiot, and my hair was soaking wet, and it was really very bad. It was almost as if, like, imagine your worst nightmare, which is, people always say it's like going to class without your like clothes on, or going out in public without your clothes on. Well, this was basically the same thing. Now, I do need to go down one more on these, I believe. But it was basically the same thing. So on there, my roommate comes into the back room after someone goes and gets him, and he's like, what are you doing here? Like, are you an idiot? Like, you lost your keys to the room? And I was like, no, I left them in the room, and the door locked while I was gone. So I'm here wearing our friend's clothes, and I need keys. And so he Oh man, I hate placing these down. So he gives me his keys. I finally make it back to the room. Everything's okay. I get to class. I turn in my homework. Nothing bad happens, but I thought it was amusing because it's literally like people's worst nightmares. Why is this not getting placed down? This should be getting placed down. So that's my story. That's my embarrassing story for the day. Now, back to playing Minecraft. This block does not want to get placed down. There we go. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit weird. We are going to have to... Let me get all this dirt over here so we can use it. We are going to have to tweak this a little bit, and I hate how it looks. I don't know why you get that lighting glitch over here. Like, if breaking one of these blocks will fix it. I don't know. Hopefully it won't look this bad. Man, that looks so horrible. Poison, ivy. Where is it? It's right there. Gosh, okay. So I think it's time to pour water on this, and the main goal is to have the water go here and go back and forward. So we're gonna have to fill in this area up here first and see how it turns out. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that story. Let me know if you did and you want me to tell more stories, or if you just want me to not talk about anything because my stories aren't interesting. I don't know. You don't have to worry about hurting my feelings. Just, you know, let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of people have requested that I tell stories, but I also know a vast majority of you do not voice your opinions, so that's another thing. Okay, so this is going to be a problem just because we need to extend up here how long this stretches out before it goes down a level. So, okay, you need to fill... What? What? Okay, that needs to go out there. This needs to go out here. And these go up too high. That's another problem. Okay, so let's see if we can stretch this the whole way. This may need to go up an entire level again, because this is going to have to go on here. Like, it's slowly spinning because they're hitting this back block here, and that's not what we want. So we want to have it hitting up here, and then I think we actually want blocks there too. Yeah. So we got to build this up here, which means all of this needs to go up a level, which means all the rest of this needs to go up a level too, because this isn't going to be able to make it over there. Darn it. Okay, so all this needs to go up a level. Let's pick this up. Let's just do the outline first, and I'll worry about making this look good later. Right? Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. So this just needs to go up one all around. And there we go. Okay, so we got that. Now we just need to fill in down here. Am I out of dirt? No, I'm not. Why is inventory tweaks? Do we not have inventory tweaks in here? Okay. So I'm actually going to hop off camera and fiddle around with this a little bit, and then we'll jump back. Okay guys, so we are back now. I finished off the stream for the most part. I think it looks pretty good. Now I did try and kind of make it gradually blend in with the surroundings, but it's gonna look a little bit weird until the grass ends up growing, and that's gonna take a little bit. So I think it looks pretty good. I think it'll look better in a little bit, especially once I add some things around it, possibly grow some extra trees, maybe grow some like tall grass around it, stuff like that. But the next thing that we need to do is put the wooden post down that you just made, and then connect the low voltage wires all the way over to the basic capacitor banks, which are going to go in the base. Now it's a little bit awkward because we need to pull it out of this side, since this kind of is the side we see less. So using that, and also, I mean, that's where we put the kinetic dynamo, so that's where we have to pull it out from. But the reason I put it over here is for that reason. And so what I think we're going to do is probably put the wooden post somewhere over here, and if we want it to line up, we'll put it like right there. And once we have that, what? Oh, it like disappears if you're not seeing like most of the model. Well, we'll grab out the engineer's hammer and what? I'm forgetting how this works. Oh, so can we not? There's supposed to be something there. I feel like we've had this glitch before. Okay, so this is going to be a relay. This should be a relay. There should be something there, but there's not. But eventually there will be. Eventually, I guess. But we're going to put the connector right there, and then we got to connect the wires. So coil it up, give a nice Heidi-ho welcome to Toddy, and once that fixes, it'll actually look decent, and then we're going to bring it into the house over here. So I don't know exactly how I want to bring it in, but I suspect for the time being, the way that I'm going to do it is literally just breaking this block right here and putting down a capacitor bank as kind of like a throughput. So it's going to look a little bit weird, but put the connector there, and it should be close enough. 16 blocks. Yeah, so there we go, and we can see the input we're getting over here. So we're only getting 36 RF per tick right now. So this whole thing is not nearly optimized. We can get over double that from these if I end up hooking them up correctly and going down and making sure. I mean, we can go take a look right now if we want to go down here. Let's see. If we want to break these blocks, that should get us significantly more, right? If we get it under there. I don't know if it was already going under. Okay, so it's going under there. The next issue is getting it all the way under. So let's break this, and let's get over here so that we can actually see what's going on down here. So what we need to do is get it actually going under there. So I think like that should do the trick. Let's check to see if it's, oh man, my shovel broke. Okay, so it's definitely making it all the way under there. It should be, okay, so that should be getting us, assuming it's going all the way back, and I'm not going to finagle with this too much on camera right now, but that should be getting us upwards of 70 RF per tick now, if it wasn't already like that. Okay, it's getting us 61 now, so it has to do with just making sure the water placement on it is correct, and it's a little bit awkward trying to do that while working with the land around you, just because it's a little bit easier if you have it actually in the air, and you can make sure the water is going, and contacting as many sides as possible. But we'll leave it like this for now. The main goal was to get it to look nice, and it's a little bit awkward over here. I might alter. We can always add another post over here if we want to mess it up a little bit. So here's another option that we could do. So we need to grab out our wire cutters, snip the wire off there, and then hook up. Is this the same height? It is. So hook up a wooden post there, extend it out on the side there, even though we can't see it. Get the relay. This should make it look a little bit nicer. Put the relay there. Connect these two. Connect these two. And there we go. Oh, and now they're actually showing after connecting the wires. That's right, because it updated it. So the only other thing that I would do is eventually move this over here so it lines up perfectly with that. But I really like the way it looks now. The main reason, like I said, I'm using immersive engineering is because I like how it looks. So I think this is pretty cool. Obviously, this down here is nowhere near done. But I will kind of work around with this stream a little bit off camera, make it look a little bit nicer. Now the main goal is to come in here and take a look at the capacitor banks, and I'll tell you guys why I'm using them if you don't already know. So capacitor banks are interesting. Now, on top of being really cheap, if we take a look at capacitor banks, and I know a lot of you guys like Ender IO, so I thought I'd mess around with it a little bit because I like it too, but these hold 1 million RF, which is decent storage early on just for a buffer. Now that's for the basic ones. The capacitor bank that's regular can hold 5 million, and then the Vibrant can hold 25 million. So they are really nice. It's great because you can access all your different stuff in here, any type of gear that you have, accessories, there's charging spots. You can change the inputs and outputs. You can easily configure it and see all this different stuff about it, how much it's gaining, how much it's losing, and that is a net gain and loss. So if you're outputting and getting stuff input, it will give you net, not input and output, so you don't need to do any remedial math to figure that out. But the really cool thing is that if I were to place down more of these, they can form a multi-block structure. So by that, I mean if I were to put down another basic capacitor bank on this, it would expand it to 2 million RF storage. So it's almost, imagine like an induction matrix from Mechanism where you can add blocks on, and the more blocks that you add on and just tack onto it, you can increase the total storage of it, all that good stuff. Now, obviously, the input and output do go up as you upgrade to the Vibrant capacitor banks, and they become more expensive where they actually need a fair bit of stuff. But you can upgrade from ones you've already had. So if we look at the recipes, you can go up from capacitor banks and kind of get away without using certain stuff. But yeah, I think we're going to stick with these for a while. I've always used these with my Endergenic generator setup, and they're kind of the power storage I'm familiar with in this pack. I do obviously know Mechanism, and you know, that's perfectly fine to mess around with, but after having a bad experience with the lag that Mechanism causes in the Surviving with Mechanism series, and the fact that I already get relatively low FPS on here as it is because there's so much stuff going on around me, I think I'm going to hold off on it for a little bit until I actually get Optifine working. Now, hopefully the pack gets updated soon, or some of the mods get updated and Optifine actually functions with them, because it worked initially and then it just stopped working with the most recent update. So that's why some of the clips have a little bit lower FPS. I really hope you guys don't mind that much, but there's really not that much that I can do about that right now, aside from updating my CPU, which requires that I get a new motherboard too, because the socket does not work with any upgraded CPU that I would need after that. So yeah, totally phenomenal, but I'll do that in the future. But for now, I do apologize for the lower FPS, but I think that's where we're going to call it for today, guys. I know we didn't get much work done, but I was really excited to show off the whole base. I really like the way it looks, and while we're doing the signing off messages, I will jump back so you guys can get a full look at the base. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that, and you know, if you have any advice as to what you think we should do next in the series. Obviously I will be doing the Endergenic generator setup soon, but aside from that, feel free to let me know. We got a lot of stuff to mess around with. I'm super excited, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to give it a like, as it does help me out a lot, and I will talk to you guys later.